All right, so how to start a food truck business in North Carolina. We're going to give you the 10 steps, the most important aspects of launching that food truck entrepreneurship endeavor from North Carolina. So welcome to Food Truck Freaks. We are all about the business of food trucks, breaking down the tips, tricks, pointers, and permits and everything else in between. So definitely want to hit the subscribe button. My name is Damian Roberti. I am a food entrepreneur and have been for over 14 years now with my wife. So I break down all kinds of fantastic tips and pointers for you guys, our food truck entrepreneurship channel. Now, definitely check out our other YouTube channels. I'm not new to YouTube. I'll have those links down below. Let's jump right into it. Step number one, of course, choosing your concept and your menu. This is the most pivotal thing you'll ever do with your food truck, even more so important than buying the food truck itself. And here is why. So this is where the dream actually gets going and gets started. North Carolina's food truck scene is hugely diverse, but it's also extremely popular and growing big time. But there is competition that is, of course, real. So you need to be aware of a concept that people will remember. Now, how to lock it in. Check out these ideas. You want to find your angle. First off, maybe it's something like Carolina barbecue with like a Hawaiian twist, something unique on Carolina barbecue, or even vegan soul food. Now, the trick is balancing uniqueness with a broad enough appeal to draw crowds. Now, you want to test before you start committing to anything. Start cooking for friends. Maybe do some pop-ups at local breweries before you actually get into the food truck itself. Rent a booth at farmers markets, or this small-scale test actually lets you see whether it sells good or not. Now, menu design tips. Now, keep it as simple as possible. Maybe 5 to 7 core items, okay? You start making your menu too big, you kind of confuse customers, and it's going to take too long to try to prep and manage all of those different things. 5 to 7 core items, you're good to go. Make sure every ingredient earns its place. What I mean? Well, overlap ingredients to save storage space and even money. Choose items that can actually be prepped ahead of time, but finished quickly for service. Now, here's an example. Instead of maybe 3 different sauces, create one amazing signature sauce and use it in multiple items. This saves costs and keeps your brand flavor consistent, okay? Doing too much has a tendency to be overdone, and you will burn yourself out. You'll waste a lot of money on ingredients, and you may end up actually losing money. So step 2. Understand the local food truck laws. Now, this is very important, of course. North Carolina has state rules, but also local controls available as well. Now, this means that the process, let's say in Charlotte, may look slightly different than it may in Raleigh or even Asheville. Okay. Now, at the state level, let's break this down. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services sets the health code for food trucks. You must operate as a mobile food unit, an MFU as it's known, or a push cart as well. Most trucks actually fall into the MFU category, so that's where you're going to be. Now, local level. Now, each city and county can actually limit where and when you can operate your food truck. Now, some require also zoning permits, okay, to park in certain districts at certain times of the day. Now, there might be a distance requirement as well from brick and mortar restaurants and schools. Now, this is not something that's just unique to North Carolina. Most states actually have this. So you have to keep a little bit of a distance from restaurants. Now, here's a pro tip. Start by calling your county health department in your city's zoning office. What do you need to ask? Well, number 1, what is required for a mobile food unit permit specifically in the city? Number 2, what local location permits or restrictions apply to food trucks in that city or county? Okay. Step number 3. Now, this one's also important because commissary kitchen requirements. You cannot operate a food truck anywhere pretty much in the U.S. without having some form of a commissary. Now, you can't legally run a food truck in North Carolina without one as well. Now, why is this required? Well, for food safety, let's say, health inspectors actually need to know your food is stored and prepped in a controlled environment. Now, of course, not saying your food truck's not controlled, but in most cases, you need an area to prep and create the food itself prior to you assembling it on your food truck. Now, sanitation. You must return to the commissary daily. This is actually for cleaning, refilling water, dumping wastewater, and such. Now, where to find one? Great question. Now, there's a place called Shared Kitchens. This one's one as well. This actually is a shared commercial kitchen in North Carolina. I've seen these actually, I believe they're in several different states. Restaurant partnerships. Some actually rent space in off hours, believe it or not. Even church or community kitchens, by the way, that's even a lower cost, but may have some limited availability. But check into that because that could actually save you money. Pro tip, well, before you sign a commissary contract, confirm with your county health inspector that kitchen, that specific kitchen, by the way, is already permitted for commercial use. Believe it or not, yes, some kitchens have different licensing and they're not permitted for commercial use at all. So step 4, get the health department permit. Now, this is the permit that actually makes you legal. What's the process? Well, number 1, submit a mobile food unit plan review application to the county health department. Number 2, include your truck floor plan, okay? Your menu, your food sources, where you're going to get it from, and the commissary agreement that you have signed. Number 3 is you want to pay the review fee. Now, this varies by county, but usually between $250 and maybe even $500. Schedule an inspection is number 4, and they'll check your hot holding, refrigeration, hand washing sink, water tank, and overall cleanliness for your food truck. Here's a pro tip. Do not buy your truck without knowing the health department requirements, okay? Because some used trucks actually for sale online can't pass North Carolina's inspections without major or expensive modifications. Okay. Step number 5, apply for your business licensing. Now, once you're good with your actual health permits, it's time to make your business official. Now, this is what you'll need. Business registration with the North Carolina Secretary of State. Now, normally an LLC is recommended for liability protection. It's actually one of the simplest ways to do it. And by the way, we have a lot of resources for these types of things down below the video in the description section. It makes it very simple for you if you want to take a look at those resources as well. Now, you also need an EIN from the IRS. Now, that is free, by the way. That's actually needed for tax and bank account information. Next up is local privilege license. Now, many cities charge a small fee to allow you to operate within their city, but they're known as privilege licenses. Okay. Now, here's an extra tip for this. Open a business bank account so your personal and business finances stay separate. Makes tax time a lot easier, especially when you have an LLC. Step number 6, secure your location permits. Now, food trucks can't just show up anywhere, by the way. You actually need permissions or permits. So here's some options. Private property, well, like let's say breweries or maybe offices, retail plazas, or even car dealerships often host truck events for lunch services. Now, you need to just make sure you get approval. Now, city street vending, in some North Carolina cities, you can get a public vending permit. Now, but spots are pretty limited and competition is pretty fierce in really high traffic areas. So you might have to get a little creative in finding this. Events, things like festivals, concerts, or even farmers markets. These are often have application processes months in advance, so you need to make sure you get ahead of them. Pro tip, keep a mix of anchor spots, as it's known. These are reoccurring locations that actually work well for you. And event gigs, big one-day sales, okay? These are great because these types of events, maybe you just run Saturday and Sunday, but could clear you thousands of dollars in profits. Step number 7, insure your food truck. And of course, like I said before, we've got great resources down in the description section, but you'll need more than just auto insurance, especially with the food truck. Now, here's some core policies and things you want to think in mind. Commercial auto insurance required by law. General liability, this actually covers like accidents or slips or even burns. Product liability. Now, this will protect you if someone claims your food gave them poisoning and they get to the hospital. That's something you'll have in the back of your pocket. Workers' compensation required for you if you have employees as well. Here's a pro tip. If you actually bundle your auto and liability coverage, many insurers offer food truck packages that actually save a lot of money. Of course, I'm not an insurance salesman. I'm simply just giving you a rundown of what you'll probably need when you run your food truck. Step number 8, build your brand and marketing plan. Now, your truck is both a kitchen and a moving billboard for your business. This billboard needs to be visible. So branding tips, here's some good ideas. Bold colors and readable name and logo from at least 50 feet away. Now, to be honest with you, I've actually seen some food trucks, and in some cases, that does not happen. And you can't read anything because it's too blurry or the colors are too dark. So make sure you keep that in mind. A signature item customers can remember you for, and use social media daily to announce your locations or maybe even something new on your menu or seasonal menus. Now, some marketing moves. Here's some good ideas. Partner with influencers or even local food bloggers. Offer also loyalty rewards like digital punch cards that work great for even apps and sign on your phone. Take high quality food photos. Pictures sell more than words. You definitely want to have good images on your truck. Okay, so number step 9, plan your finances. This is probably a pretty critical situation too. So typical startup costs in North Carolina on average, a used food truck can run you between $40,000 to $60,000. Now, a new custom build, at least 90 and maybe up. Okay, so keep that in mind. Permits and commissary and branding to get launched around $5,000 to $10,000. Now, remember, some of these are just initial launch costs. These aren't going to be ongoing. But here are some monthly operating costs you need to keep in mind. Ingredients, about 25 to 35% of your sales. Staff are going to be about 20 to 30% of sales as well. Commissary, $500 to $1,200 monthly. Insurance, anywhere from about $150 to $300 monthly. And then you've got fuel, maintenance, and event fees as well. So your revenue goal, so if your average ticket is around $14, and let's say you serve around 60 customers a day for 25 days, That's about $21,000 in sales each month. That's actually before expenses. So these are some goals you may want to keep in mind. Last but not least, step number 10, launch and scale. Now, when you're ready to open, you want to host what's known as a soft launch. These could be like with friends, family, to work out any kinks that you might have in maybe your processes or maintaining your truck. You want to announce your grand opening with a local maybe brewery or high traffic event and use giveaways or even free samples to attract some attention. When you want to scale, potentially going to more events or even a second truck, add catering services, maybe even partner with a corporate lunch program. Expand to a second truck or even a brick and mortar restaurant location once your brand is strong in the area. So if you are looking to launch a North Carolina food truck business, definitely want to follow these 10 steps. If you've got questions about this, let us know down below. If you're new to Food Truck Freaks, definitely hit the subscribe button. We've got tons of videos here, everything from how to create menus, marketing, insurance, and much more. I'll see you guys on our next video.